that we are live. Welcome back to the stream. How's everybody doing? This is our live coverage of reInvent 2023. I'm Am Grabelny. I'm your host for this session, and I am outnumbered right now by AWS ambassadors, which is a great thing to be outnumbered by because y'all are some of the best, right? Scott, you joined us yesterday. I can't believe you decided to come back even though you had to talk to me yesterday. But you're talking with me again today. Let's start with you, and then we'll go down the line and meet our new friends, too.
Yep, so Scott Weber, AWS ambassador for PwC, been in the program since about March 2019. Seen it grow from 120 people globally to about 300 people globally now.
Wow.
And been lucky enough to lead our activities around the ambassador program at PwC.
Very nice. All right, next down the line.
Hey, how are you? Justin Guzzi, also an ambassador. And I've been part of the program now since fall of 2019.
Okay.
So really cool to see the program grow. I do a lot in the solution architecture space at PwC. And helping customers on their cloud transformation journey. So it's a lot of fun.
All right, and last but not least.
Hi, my name is Jayant Raj. I've been an ambassador since 2021. I'm a director at PwC focusing on machine learning systems and these days generative AI, building generative AI systems.
Very nice, very nice. We're going to talk probably a lot of nerdy stuff in the next 13 minutes or so. But first, so we had a whole session dedicated yesterday, but in case anybody didn't catch it, let's talk about PwC first.
Sure.
Who wants to take what is PwC? What should people know about PwC?
I'll take that one.
Okay.
So, PwC, obviously a lot of people know us as a Big Four accounting firm. But I think what's really important to understand for all our viewers out there is that, we are super, super deep in technology and consulting and advisory, but also in our engineering practice, the ability to go out and build solutions on top of AWS for our customers and transform those customers and their businesses with leveraging AWS. So, whether it's reinventing a mainframe to run natively in AWS, or helping them just transform their business, move to SaaS application, build their application now as SaaS applications, transform how they operate their business. That's where we focus a lot in bridging. Every one of us up here, we really help bridge. Yes, we're super deep and technical, but we bridge that gap between the business and the technical aspects of things. And that's critical because I say a lot of time, we can all talk tech all day long.
Sure.
But if you can't make a difference for the business, you don't get the funding to go do the fun stuff.
Agreed. Yeah. Agreed. And we had a deep philosophical discussion all about that and your role in cloud engineering at PwC. If you want to check that out, you can check it out. It's a video on demand because that was from yesterday. But now we're going to be talking about the ambassador program. And so I've been at AWS since 2018. I've been in a few different roles, but I've been in the APN since 2019. So I was a partner solution architect. I'm now a developer advocate on the game day team. I've been well aware of the AWS Ambassador Program for a long time. They don't want to hear about it from me. They want to hear about it from you all, because you all actually went out and achieved this.
Yep.
And it's not easy to achieve.
No.
All right, so what does it mean to you all? Let's go down the line.
Yeah. Jan, why don't you start? What's ambassador mean to you?
Yeah, as an ambassador, I think what it means to me is, first of all, I think it shows that you have the depth of experience in certain AWS services. So that helps a lot in terms of our client discussions.
Right.
So when we talk to clients, you are basically you have a backstop, right? You are very confident that you are an ambassador. You have proven depth of experience, and it helps me in general. Like first of all, you're backed up by credentials also. Like you have a certain number of certifications. You do a lot of championing for AWS. So with all that, what happens is you kind of have this knowledge base of all the different services, and when you go to have those conversations with the clients, they also look at you favorably.
Yes.
And then also it also gives you the confidence to you basically you know what you're talking about, right? So
right.
Because you have that experience. So yeah, that's been kind of one of the like a force multiplier for me when I go talk to clients.
I love it. Justin, what about you?
I have to say, the three of us up here, we've definitely devoted a lot of time to learning AWS, putting out thought leadership, and credentializing ourselves and have fun doing it, right?
Yeah.
And I think just being part of the ambassador program it's just a natural thing, right? It's just to be part of it, and really credentializes our firm. So when we get into those conversations with customers, like Scott had mentioned, right, bridging the business and the technical is huge, right? Because you can get both ends of the spectrum in those customer meetings, and you can connect with everybody, right? And by the end of the meeting, it's like everyone's got energy, right? And so that's what gets me excited. That's what I love about the program, and just making all the connections, just the networking is my favorite thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
Scott?
You know, it's been a journey to see how the program has changed, and you know what it means for me is, you know, it's a differentiation for each of us and for our organization as well, and it leads to a lot of fun conversations with customers.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So I won't use the term that my boss likes to use, but you know I'll call it a tech off. So
Yeah.
we'll bring some of us in, and it's a way of getting our customers comfortable with us, that we know the technology.
Yeah.
So they'll lock us in the room with their top technical people, and we'll just start riffing. We'll be up at the whiteboard. Hey, we could do this. You could do this. You could do this. And you come out of it, and the customer is now comfortable.
I love that.
The customer has assurances that like they've got the people that really understand this. They heard me, and they know how to bring the AWS toolset to bear.
Okay, so I'm hearing, you know, individual benefits. I'm hearing benefits for the company. One of the things too that I think, Justin, you touched on a little bit. One of my favorite part about, because I'm on the other side, right? I get to interact with a lot of the ambassadors. I love getting to meet the incredibly smart people that are in the program. And for me, I look at the ambassador program as a really great community, right? A really great community of people. I'm sure you all get to, you mentioned, Justin, the networking, right? You get to interact with all the other ambassadors, learn from each other. Speaking of, we talked a little bit about this yesterday when we were talking about PwC's cloud engineering techniques and how they keep their engineers up to date. But I imagine maintaining ambassador status, all those certifications that were mentioned earlier, you got to learn a lot, and you got to learn a lot frequently, right? What are your tips and tricks for keeping up to date, you know, kind of breaking through the noise, because there's a lot of noise going on in the tech industry in general, and focusing on the things that really are going to drive the business outcomes, like Scott mentioned. You want to go reverse order this time? Start with you, Scott?
Yeah, sure. So,
Okay.
you know, for me, it's events like this. It's events, you know, coming to reInvent, getting into the keynotes, going to the summits. You know, pre-COVID, it was listening to a lot of blog or the podcast, driving in the car. You know, but to be in this program, you have to have a thirst for knowledge. And I contend to be a great engineer, you have to have a continuous thirst for knowledge. So it's always like, you know, for me, I've gone to like looking through Twitter, looking at, you know, what AWS has released recently, and just scanning through those things and trying to keep current. So how about you, Justin?
So one way that I actually stay abreast of technologies and just in the loop in general is I'm actually part of the SME program at AWS.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I'm one of the lead SMEs, which is a new program, part of the SME program that they just kicked out in the last year or so. And so I write exams and I help review items that the SMEs review. But it's a great opportunity for me to get in and be like, oh, that service that I didn't know about, or or let me dive deep into it because I'm going to write this exam question for, you know, SA Pro, for example, and now I have to craft it and think through it, right, and use real business problems. So that's my way, and obviously, you know, through, you know, Twitter, now X, right, getting all the notifications that come through, the What's New blog posts. So, I mean, there's so many great sources of information, workshops, and hands-on, and I try to do that whenever I can, like even in any downtime. You know, kids go to bed, and I'm searching, I'm playing around a little bit, and stay hands-on keyboard. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think one of the common themes across all the ambassadors is curiosity and continuous learning. So I think all of us kind of share the same passion for, like, you know, oh, what's new? How do we, you know, take this service and, you know, apply it to our client problems, or, you know, in general.
Yeah.
So for me, again, the way I keep, you know, current is, you know, AWS has this online webinars, like from time to time, like every week I think they have like 2 or 3 webinars.
Sure.
So more or less I try to watch those, you know, set up time to watch those. And then apart from all of that, you know, like, you know, webinars and the AWS blog is a good resource as well. But from a certification standpoint, I think a lot of the work that we do has some overlap, right? For example, I'm in machine learning engineering, so for example, for me, the machine learning exams are relatively easier because I work in that space.
That's your
yes.
that's your space.
Yes, space, right? So, that overlap kind of helps with the certifications instead of someone just trying to learn from scratch.
Right.
But again, a lot of the work that we do and the webinars, the blog posts, all of that helps. And you just have to stay on top of all of that because there every day something new is being released, and you just have to be on top of all those things. So.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the community helps too, because we all have a community Slack channel that we're in as ambassadors, and somebody will throw something out there, and that's the power of the community and the network. And we'll all jump in with, we tried this, we did this, that's how it's supposed to work. And that's really is the power of that community of the 300, some odd of us that are out there. We will jump in and help each other out.
Yeah. Speaking of community, we've got 3 community people up here right now. I want to hear from y'all about it's reInvent season, right?
Mm-hmm.
There have been all these new things, new launches, stuff coming out. What are the highlights for you all? Justin, I'll start with you. What have been some of the launches that have really caught your attention and that you've really been I want to get on there and I want to see this?
I mean, it's not super broad necessarily, but one of those first announcements around that new S3 offering, it's like 10x faster, right?
Oh yeah, the new storage class.
Yes, new storage
we
class
talked about
of S3.
that this morning.
Yeah,
that was one of mine too.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Man, I mean that's incredible for especially working in ML, right? With data sets being closer to compute, it's incredible.
It kind of blew my mind. I was like, I never really thought about that. Pinned to 1 AZ and closer, faster, and I was like, this is great. I mean, so many of our customers are going to be able to leverage that, and can't wait to bake that into an architecture for a customer.
Yeah, we saw on one of the demos they had standard access and the new storage class, and it was like a race for pulling in 20,000 images, right, to put into an ML model to do Chihuahua detection, right? And it was like the standard access got to like 50%, and the new storage class was done. Yeah. So it was amazing. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, today was like a really exciting day. Just because
Swami's keynote, right? Yeah, obviously.
So with all the announcements around, like, say, Bedrock knowledge base, right? So we do a lot of that kind of work, but, with all the managed offering, for example, the Bedrock knowledge base, it makes our lives easier.
Right.
Bedrock agents. Then the whole announcement around SageMaker hyperpods, where you can distribute training and all of that is taken care of for you. So a lot of those things we have done, but it's just very painful on a day-to-day basis. It takes a lot of our time, consumes a lot of our time. So with a lot of these like managed services offerings, I think it's going to significantly, speed our daily work.
Yeah.
And then, I'm just excited about all these different offerings that was announced today. So it's like a goldmine for us people who work in that space.
Could you barely sleep last night waiting for Swami's keynote? You're like,
it was awesome. It was awesome today. Yeah.
I love Swami. Yeah, Swami's great. Yeah. Scott, what about you?
For me, I've been in AWS for a really long time, so I'll go to the Graviton announcement. Because I think EC2 is the foundation of everything that we do in AWS, pretty much, right? And so the fact, and that AWS is investing so much in custom silicon, whether it's Graviton processors or Trainiums or the Inferentia chipsets or the Nitro chipsets. I mean, when you think about how AWS has decided to go down that path, but the Graviton announcement yesterday, 45% faster running Java. Look, enterprises are sitting on massive Java code bases. They're going to be for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Database is running 40% faster than the Graviton Gen 3. I mean, and that is like such a game changer. And then when you factor in their lower power too, right? So because all organizations are going to have to start worrying about power consumption, carbon footprint, and stuff like that. So when we start talking about being able to like move customers to this latest and greatest stuff, right? It's cheaper and it's faster. Usually those don't go together, right?
Yeah.
So I go back to some of those like foundational things.
I love it. Yeah, I same. That's when you've been watching AWS for as long as you have, you really appreciate those things, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, we got about 15 seconds left. Where can I go learn more about PwC? Any resources that y'all have that you want to give out to the audience to go learn more?
So obviously PwC.com, but if you search PwC Ambassador Corner, there's an area dedicated to the ambassadors.
Oh, that's awesome.
And you'll see some of the blog posts and stuff that we're putting out there. We're going to have videos from reinvent out there as well, additional videos that we're doing. So encourage anybody to go check that out and reach out to us if you want to find out LinkedIn or however you want to find out more about what PwC is doing around AWS and cloud engineering.
Perfect. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to get to talk to
Thanks for
not
having
just
us.
one, but 3 ambassadors. That's amazing. All right. But we'll be back with more, so stay tuned.